began. Our economy was struggling. Jobs were scarce. Our standing on the world stage was weak at best. Veterans were forgotten. Our military was in shambles. Ranked 30th in the world. He could no longer tolerate an inept administration that handed $150 billion to Iran, a country that chants death to America, or witness the continued attacks on our Constitution and our religious liberty, or see the disrespect shown to our unbelievable law enforcement officers who are being disarmed, defunded, and persecuted each and every day. He could no longer stand to see words like Christmas stripped from public use or the Pledge of Allegiance removed from our schools. So my father saw potential where others saw despair. Donald Trump built the New York City skyline. He did so during a time when businesses were turning away from the city he loved. Crime was rampant, and streets were dirty. But he had to fight his and he turned the streets and neighborhoods to gold. He faced every challenge with tremendous vision and grit. As he did during the 2016 election, he rolled up his sleeves. He remained unapologetic. He did not care to be politically correct.
If you can look next to the I of Mississippi and above the R in America, you can see Donald Trump sitting with his granddaughter in his lap.
He restored the American dream.
And then Lara's got her son in her lap.
The economy climbed to record heights. Jobs were created at an unthinkable pace. Unemployment reached historic lows across all demographics. Wage growth soared. He cut taxes for hardworking families and businesses. He slashed regulations. We saw the greatest 401k increase in American history. People bought their first homes in an environment that saw 2-3% interest rates. Started their families.
1.75, baby.
My father made the United States energy independent with the lowest gas prices in decades. My father made the United States safe. Our borders were closed. There was peace in the Middle East. Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the terrorists were dead. My father made the United States respected again. With the courage to walk into countries like North Korea, with the courage to impose tariffs on China, and with the courage to tear up trade deals that cost Americans their jobs.
I'm amazed. It's a move to see the guy, and then I gotta listen to the old lady behind me complaining that I'm away. That's the last one that I didn't think it's a or the
winning. Donald Trump made America great again.
I can't see. This is for I can marry the camera. They want to see the.
He also created a movement that threatened the special interests and the political elites. A movement that cast a bright light on the institutions weaponized against the American people. You see in our schools. God bless the moms who fought back. Yeah. You see it in your workplace. You see it on every news station, in every newspaper. You see it in the military. The most iconic military installations on planet Earth are stripped of their identity and renamed.
Fort Bragg! Fort Bragg!
You see it in Hollywood. You see it in our two-tier judicial system. They don't even fight it anymore. My father has been censored. The former president ripped off Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, while the terrorist organizations remain intact. My father has been persecuted, targeted by far-left Democrats, funded by special interest groups, and handpicked judges. My father has been pulled off the ballots of states, radical justices attempting to defy the will of millions of Americans who adore who he is and what he stands for. My father became the target assassin who almost killed America's single greatest hope for our future. Amen. The swamp is terrified of this incredible movement. They're terrified of it. They're terrified of you and the tens of millions of people watching us on TV right now. They've tried everything to keep it from you, everything, to destroy his legacy, to destroy his family. They have failed, and they will not win.
Maggie, text Brad and tell him I have a seat here for him. Ask Jim.
I love my Florida delegation right here. My father stands before you with the most votes of any Republican candidate in the history of our nation. He has defied the predictions of every political pundit. He fills stadiums across our country. He energizes Americans to the issues facing his nation and does so with unvarnished honesty. He is not a threat to democracy. He is a threat to those who despise our republic.
Nice. Oh, that was awesome. That was beautiful.
People who have never signed the front of a check and
A threat to our republic.
their entire
Perfect.
lives. Today, as it was in 2016, America's at that crossroads again. Energy prices are soaring. Interest rates are crippling. Everything is unaffordable. The U.S. dollar has been diminished. Inflation has made it impossible for Americans to live, to save for their future. Our infrastructure is crumbling. Our border is out of control.
But Beck.
Millions are dead and displaced in Russia and Ukraine. A war that has no end and a war that we are fighting. The Middle East has become a hornet's nest. Our greatest ally, Israel, totally under siege. Fentanyl is killing our youth and destroying families, while the current administration stands idly by, hoping their inaction will import illegal votes. Crime terrorizes our cities and suburbs as far-left policies handcuff police. Male athletes, guys my height, 6'5", are winning in women's sports. Destroying the dreams of young girls who have trained every minute of their lives. We no longer trust our elections. We no longer trust our judicial system. And we no longer believe that our government is working in our best interests. In spite of where we are today as a nation, I'd like to speak to the homeless veterans sleeping under our bridge as illegal immigrants are housed in the most expensive hotels in New York. I'm sorry. We know it's wrong, and we will fix it. The single mother who can no longer afford her rent, afford groceries, and has been forced to work 3 jobs. I'm sorry. It does not have to be this way. To the parents who lost a son or daughter to fentanyl, including the incredible woman that spoke the other night, while an administration does absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. Your government can do so much better, and it will. To the children who are being brainwashed instead of learning fundamentals in school, I'm sorry. There are teachers who care, and my father will empower them. To the law enforcement officers, our brave war patrols, Secret Service agents who work every single day to protect our communities, knowing damn well that the system will throw you under the bus, I'm sorry. We will stand behind you. To the Commuters often petrified to take a bus, take a train, or walk the streets in cities across our nation. I'm sorry. That man right there will fix this. To the construction workers, to the middle-class families, to families with children with disabilities, families who can no longer afford medical benefits or to take a vacation. I'm sorry. We will make America great again. And to my father, who has been ruthlessly silenced, slandered, and attacked by a corrupt administration, I'm sorry. We know, and America knows, that they're not just after you, they're after all of us, and you just have to be standing in their way.
Trump, 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 Trump.
For all Americans watching tonight, the greatest retribution will be our success. Success not just for ourselves, but for our grandchildren and our children. Under President Donald J. Trump, the swamp will be drained. America will be respected. Our cities will be safe. Our streets will be clean, and our border will once again be secure. We will have peace. We will have prosperity. Your hard-earned tax dollars will enrich a better America, not be squandered in corrupt foreign nations. Education will be handed back to the states.
Yeah.
We will be first.
USA! USA! USA!
Our children will understand family. Our children will have values, and our children will love God. Our country will prioritize free speech, respect freedom of religion, and honor our Constitution. As his son, I've never been more proud of a person in my life. A man who has defied all odds, more than once. A man who believed in the promise of America when others turned away. A man who saw a nation in need of a champion and answered that call with unwavering determination and courage. A man who survived a bullet that was intended to eliminate him permanently from our future and from our family. Never have I been more proud to be a Trump. Never have I been more proud to stand by my father's side. I remain incredibly honored to be part of this journey, a journey with all of you. A journey to save the greatest country on earth. A journey with the most incredible people I have ever met. Dad, 5 days ago, Laura, Luke, Carolina, and I held our breath as we saw blood pour across her face. By the grace of God, divine intervention, and your guardian angels above, you survived.
We love Trump. 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 We love Trump.
You are the greatest fighter I have ever seen. You are strong. You are full of life, and you are unapologetic. Your optimism is contagious. Your backbone is unbreakable. Your conviction to fight for what is right and against all that is wrong is truly next level. The whole world saw your strength as you stood up. You wiped the blood off your face, and you put your fist in the air in a moment that will be remembered as one of the most courageous acts in the history of American politics. You shouted, "Fight! Fight! 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 I'm honored to be your son. I'm honored.
If there was ever a nation, you know,
You are a true leader. You epitomize strength. Our country loves you. Our country appreciates you. Our country misses you. And on November 5th, our country will re-elect you as the 47th President of the United States.
there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. He's going. He's going down. There he goes, going down the stairs. He's right to the left of the I in Idaho. Passing. Now he's to the right of Idaho, going down the stairs. Don Jr. and J.D. Vance. They're good. To the left, yeah. So Ivanka and Hillary, or Tiffany to the right. Behind J.D. Vance. Behind J.D. Vance is Tiffany to the left. To the just on the Mississippi side to the right of the dresses. That's Ivanka. J.D. Vance and his wife. Don Jr. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Don Jr. is crossing in front of Don Hulk Hogan. Kimberly Guilfoyle in the red to the Dr. Bonka to the right of Kimberly in the white. I don't see that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next first lady.
She's gonna zip line in from the third. She's zip lining in from the 300s. Yeah, they took out the podium. She's gonna rise up. They took out the podium. No, I guess not. She's back there, yeah. There she is, right there on the stage.
This story is uniquely American. It's the ideals and freedoms we all cherish. A story of a life dedicated to dreaming big. A story about giving back to the people in this beloved city. But most of all, this is a story about putting this country first. It's a story that's told in pictures. Young and confident, Donald Trump wasn't afraid to think big and build even bigger. And he left his mark on the New York skyline that greeted visitors from around the world. But he wasn't just an American entrepreneur. He became a folk hero. Celebrities and sports stars wanted to be seen with him. Politicians sought his approval. And New Yorkers just loved him. And he loved them back. And he gave back. Just one exhibit. Saving the
It's gonna go black for a split second. Hold on, a couple of seconds. Hold on.
Skating rink at Central Park is open again.
people live like kings and we're not. You said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win. Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone into losing. I would say that I have a chance of winning because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off.
First of all, such a glamorous life. Appearances in movies, best-selling books.
Yay! You're fired.
Calling to save his country was even stronger. The mission more important. The number of Americans being left behind too large. And so, in Donald Trump fashion, president to win, and he did. From his first day in office, the Washington politicians learned something about President Trump. He's not afraid to fight for what he believes in. They call that having the courage of your convictions. First up, the Trump tax cuts. Largest in America's history, and it led to higher take pay for working families. Unfortunately, today, taxes are up and incomes down. The politicians just never learn. Next for President Trump, secure our border. Check. Miles and miles of wall built. ISIS
I've been
and other
there.
terrorists deterred.
Been there.
But now, we have the Barney Fife of border security. Over a million Americans dead from fentanyl coming in. Brutal migrant crime spreading across America. And ISIS now here. President Trump promised he'd keep America out of endless wars. Welcome words to the families of our young men and women who serve. And another promise kept. He started by strengthening our military, then traveled the world, meeting with our allies, and even with our main adversaries. Just so they understood that America's strength and resolve was back. Because that's what a strong commitment achieves. And it will and their truth safe. Today, a different story. Our enemies smelled weakness, then set the world on fire. Putin saw it, then invaded Ukraine. Hamas saw it, then started a war in the Middle East. There's one more thing we've learned about President Trump. He believes so strongly in America, so optimistic for our possibilities, and so committed to fighting to once again make our country great, that there is
USA! 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 USA!
Please welcome Canada Brown.
Selling rhymes, seven times. Wanna see us fly? I guess because only God knows why. They call me cowboy, I can sing it with black. Don't fit in the air, let me see what you got. Say what? Say what? Say no, no. Never get the best. Watch me rock, watch you fly. Boy, where's the trust? Johnny Cash, the Grandmaster. Right, right. Trump, 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 Trump. Patriotic American flag on it. Mic drops.
Gotta have this break. Going dark for a second.
I'm so honored that you will be doing the introduction at the National Republican Convention. Think of it as the biggest fight you ever had, a fight for our country and even the world. I only wish you didn't have to interrupt your family trip, but I hope they understand they love you and they know how important this is. This man is the President of the United States. He's fighting for the future of this country, and he's concerned about interrupting my family trip. That's the President Trump that I know. A man who truly cares about people. The mainstream media wants to push the narrative that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. I absolutely know that's not the truth because I've been friends with this guy for 25 years. And for the people who know me, they'll know this is true. I just want to make something very clear. Nobody in the Trump campaign has ever told me what to say. Nobody tells me what to say, and I'm nobody's puppet. I'm telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. And I know President Trump. I know President Trump is a fighter. I've been saying this since 2015. Now look at what's happened over the last 10 years. We have all seen it with our own eyes. I'm in the tough guy business, and this man is the toughest, most resilient human being that I've ever met in my life. Hillary thinks this guy never ever gives up. So what's at stake here? The answer is in President Trump's text, and I quote, "A fight for our country."
That's right.
I know why he's running for president again. Why else would he put himself through everything he's dealt with just to get back here? We all know he doesn't need this. This guy's got a great life. He has a beautiful family, and he has achieved everything that you can possibly achieve in life. I know President Trump is literally putting his life on the line for something bigger than himself. And he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country. That's for the American people. All American people. I know he's running for president to save our American dream. I'm living the American dream. And I know the American dream is very real. Whether you were born in this country or came here from someplace else, this is the last real land of opportunity. President Reagan once said, government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. And if you're buried in government red tape, how will you ever start your own business? If you're struggling to pay your bills, how can you ever afford your own family? And if you don't feel safe in your own town, why would you ever buy a house? I know that President Trump is fighting to save the American dream, and that's what's at stake in this election. We are choosing who we want to lead us in this fight. I know President Trump is a proven leader, a fearless leader, and this country was in a much better place when he was in the Oval Office. In my mind, the choice is clear. But this election, we all get to choose. I know I'm going to choose strength and security. I know I'm going to choose opportunity and prosperity.
Yes.
I know I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. What choice to make, and I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah.
I know America needs a strong leader, and the world needs a strong American. Donald Trump is the best choice for president of the United States. My fellow Americans, it is my honor to introduce the 45th.
Oh, over here, Lee. Woo! Over there, over there. All things are wrong. First on my life. I had to start again. Just like you and my wife. Thank for lucky stars. To get here today. Cause our flag still stands for freedom. And they can't take it away. And I love to be an American. Where we stand so I'm free. Hey, could you put your arm down for a second? Oh, yeah. The minute you die, that fight to me. Got it. And there are still today. Was there ain't no doubt. It's on, right? From the lake of Minnesota to this little Texas. Elvis, baby! Woo! Woo! Elvis, baby! I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died to get that right to me. Remember still today, there ain't no doubt. God bless her. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Kid Rock, sometimes referred to as Bob. And thank you, Lee, right from the beginning. Thank you very much. Friends, delegates, fellow citizens, I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the two greatest years in the history of our country. Together, we will launch a new era of safety, prosperity, and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. The discord
Division in our society must be healed. We must heal it quickly. As Americans, we are bound together by a single faith and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination. Thank you very much. And we will do it right. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of that. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, wrote it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack. And then one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did, they rushed. It's a great people, a great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately he was a sniper. And then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually, most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that, and I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over my faces. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniping from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Thank you. But I'm not. I'll tell you. I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. And watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead. And there was great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking at it. They thought it was over. But I could see it. I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, fight, fight, fight. Once my clenched fist went up, And it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd had ever heard. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey. Compared to an unbelievable person, everybody tells me. And seriously, two other great warriors spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them, and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious dumpsters, I want to tell you. It's still a quality, unfortunately, that we have to use the past tense, and it's incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. He was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman who spoke to today, devastated, and two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly, acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was. I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something that they're going to do something very special at the beginning, but we did something which cannot match without it, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million. For the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine. He's hold up for sending me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million. Thank you. And thank you. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, we'll be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. Warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours. And this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever. So thank you. Our resolve is unbroken and our purpose is unchanged to deliver a government that serves the American people better than ever before. Nothing will stop me in this vision, because our vision is righteous, of course, it's pure. No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend, we will not back down. And I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country. And everything I have to give you, all of the energy and fight in my heart and soul, I pledge to our nation tonight. Thank you very much. I pledge that to our nation. And to turn our nation around, I'm going to do it very quickly. Thank you. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again. In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we must criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system, labeling especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country. And very big news, as you probably just read, on Monday, a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge, highly canon, finding that the prosecutor and the fake documents case against me were totally unconstitutional, and the entire case was thrown out of court. The Democrats want to unify our country. They should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I've been going through for approximately 8 years. And they should do that without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it. On this journey, I am really honored to be joined by my amazing wife, Melania. Melania, thank you very much. You also did something really beautiful, a letter to America calling for national unity, and it really took the Republican Party by surprise. That's some very serious people said that we should take that letter and put it as part of the Republican platform. That would be an honor.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Congressman. but he's captivated so many. So I also want to thank my entire family for being here. Don, Kimberly, Yvonne, Jared, Eric, and Lara, Tiffany and Michael, Baron, hello, Baron. Of course, my 10 wonderful grandchildren, just a few of them up there on my lap. Can you help me with your statement? This thing. He was probably the only vacation he's had in about, maybe ever. About 10 years. His wife, very far away. I won't tell you where, but very, very far away. And my people called and he said, yeah, I won't be able to do it. This is many, many years. I promised my wife I can't do it. And they came in and they said, yeah, I won't be able to do it. Because he was my first, second, and third choice. I said, well, it's too bad, but I understand he's away. It's good. It's good for him. And that was it. About 30 minutes later, she came back in, sir, Dana just called, he's going to do it. And his wife, she said, you can't turn him down. You just can't do it. You have to go. That's a good wife. So he got on the plane, he got here a little while ago, now he's gonna get on the plane in a little while, he's gonna go back home to his wife. But they're great, and I just want to thank her and him and their whole family, because that's amazing. And Kid Rock, same thing. Because you were a kid, there's this great song, Big Monster song. I had no idea, you became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. He's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. He has rallies, 35, 40,000 people. Every time he goes out. I think he's making so much money, he doesn't know what the hell to do. And we have my other friend that I've known him so long, and we took that song, and it was a big success, but we made that. I saw a chart of great songs to America. That was #1 on the chart recently, #1. That's really beautiful. It's a beautiful man. And how about the host? How good for they may call that entertainment. I know about entertainment, but when he used to lift a 350-pound man over his shoulders and then bench press him 2 rows into the audience, I said, it may be entertainment, but he is one strong son of a gun. There are a lot of entertainers that can do that, right? You were fantastic. Thank you very much. Followed by Eric. What was that all about? Boy, that was good. I didn't really come up with it. But he was so good. He was such a good young man. He went through a lot of trouble. And Don last night was incredible. They went through so much trouble. They got subpoenaed more than any people probably in the history of the United States. Every week, another subpoena from the Democrats, Tracy, Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing just boom, boom, boom. They got to stop that because they're destroying our country. We have to work on making America great again, not on beating people. And we won. We beat them in all. We beat them on the impeachments. We beat them on indictments. We beat them. But the time that you have to spend, if they would devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger, better country. And Jason, biggest star in country music. Jason, thank you for being here. Jason. Jason, all day. It's beautiful. I like his wife better, by the way. She's. But I'm thrilled to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States. Going to be a great Vice President is going to be great with this country and with this movement. Greatest movement in the history of our country. Make America great again. When they criticize this, we're going to try and stop MAGA. I said, MAGA is making America great again. What are you going to stop? There's nothing to stop. And they said, well, it's very tough to fight. And all of the people that did try to fight it failed. He's going to be with us for a long time, and it was an honor to select a great student at Yale. His wife was a great student at Yale. They met at Yale. These are two smart people. So, JT, you're going to be doing this for a long time. Enjoy the ride. And a very special thank you to the extraordinary people of Milwaukee. It's so easy to stop. You guys are not 15 years ago. Most of the audience doesn't like our ministry. And by the way, Wisconsin, we are spending over $250 million here creating jobs and other economic development all over the place. So I hope you will remember this in November and give us a great time. Wisconsin great again. We are tonight to lay out a vision for the whole nation, to every citizen, whether you're a young, old man, woman, Democrat, Republican, or independent, black, or white, Asian, or Hispanic. I extend to you a hand of loyalty and of friendship. Together, we will lead America to new heights of greatness like the world has never seen before. We were right there in the first term. We got hit with COVID. We did a great job. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody's ever seen an economy pre-COVID. And then we handed over a stock market that was substantially higher than just prior to COVID. Coming in, did a great job. Never got credit for that. We got credit for the war and defeating ISIS and so many things. A great economy, the biggest tax cuts ever, the biggest regulation cuts ever, the creation of Space Force, the rebuilding of our biggest right to try is a big deal. That right to try, we're trying to get that for 52 years. Somebody's terminally ill. And hopefully there's nobody in this audience, but it does happen a lot. I mean, terminally ill when they can't use our new space age drugs and other things that we are way ahead of the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest laboratories in the world, and you can't do it. They've been trying to get that approved for 52 years. Wasn't that easy? The insurance companies didn't want to do it. They didn't want the risk. The labs didn't want to do it because it didn't work. People are pretty far down the line toward death. They didn't want to do it. The doctors didn't want to have another record, so I got everybody into an office. 52 years they tried. Sounds simple, but it's not. And I got them to agree that somebody that needs it will, instead of going to Asia, Europe, or someplace, or if you have no money going home and dying, they're just dying. We got them to sign an agreement, agree to it, where they're not going to sue anybody. They're going to get all of this stuff. They're going to get it really fast. And What's happened is we're saving thousands and thousands of lives. It's incredible. Grateful to them. Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return in order to our streets, patriotism to our story, and what we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. But to achieve this future, we must first rescue our nation from failed and even incompetent leadership. Incompetent leadership. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. Under the current administration, we are indeed a nation in decline. We have an inflation crisis that is making life unaffordable, ravaging the incomes of working and low-income families, and crushing, just simply crushing our people. Like never before, they've never seen anything like it. We also have an illegal immigration crisis that's taking place right now as we sit here in this beautiful arena. It's a massive invasion of our southern border that has spread misery, crime, poverty, disease, and destruction to communities all across our land. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Then there's an international crisis, the likes of which the world has seldom been part of. Nobody can believe what's happening. War is now raging in Europe and the Middle East. A growing specter of conflict hangs over Taiwan, Korea, the Philippines, and all of Asia. And our planet is teetering on the edge of World War III. And this will be a war like a war because of weaponry. The weapons are no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. These weapons are obliteration. It's time for a change. This administration can't come close to solving the problems we're dealing with. Very tough, very fierce people. They're fierce people. If we don't have fierce people, we have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. So tonight, I make this pledge to the great people of America. I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates and lower the cost of But by doing that, we will lead a large-scale decline in prices. Prices will start to come. Energy raised it. They took our energy policies and destroyed them. Then they immediately went back to them, but by that time, so much was lost. But we will do it at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We'll end lots of different things. We'll start paying off debt and start lowering taxes even further. We gave you the largest tax cut. Well, people don't realize we brought taxes way down, way down, and yet we took in more revenues the following year than we did when the tax rate was much higher. Most people said, how did you do that? Because it was incentive. Everybody was coming to the country. They were bringing back billions and billions of dollars into our country. The companies made it impossible to bring it back. The tax rate was too high, and the legal complications were far too great. We changed both of them, and hundreds of billions of dollars by Apple and so many other companies were poured back into our nation. An economy the likes of which no nation had ever seen. China, we were beating them at levels that were incredible. And then we'll do it again, we'll do it even better. I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing it. And I said, oh, that's okay, we won't go to Congress. I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 million. I said, I'm gonna take a little of that money because this is an invasion. We built, most of the wall is already built. And we built it through using the funds we missed. What's better than that? We have to stop the invasion into a country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. I'm not gonna let that happen. I will end every single international crisis that the current administration has created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president, and the war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was president. Iran was broke. Iran had no money. Now Iran has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years.
From a bomb.
I watched another show called Deface the Nation. Has anyone seen that? They had a congressman who was a Democrat say, well, whether you like him or not, Iran is broke. Dealing with Trump. I told China and other countries, if you buy from Iran, we will not let you do any business in this country, and we will put tariffs on every product produced in there of 100%. And they said to me, well, I think that's about it. They weren't going to buy any. And they were ready to make a deal. Iran was going to make a deal with us. And then we had that horrible, horrible result that we'll never let happen again. The election result, we're never going to let that happen again. They used COVID to change. And they took off all the sanctions and they did everything possible for Iran. And now Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon, which would have never happened. This is a shame what this administration, the damage that this administration has done. And I say it often, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, think of it, the 10 worst, added them up, they will not have done the damage that Biden has done. I'm going to use the term once. Biden, I'm not going to use the name anymore, just remember. The damage that he's done to this country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. Together we will restore vision, strength, competence, and we're going to have a thing called common sense, making most of our decisions. It's unusual. Years ago, we had the most secure border and best economy in the history of our country, in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had never done anything like it. We were beating every country, including China, by leaps and bounds. Nobody had seen anything like it. We had no inflation, soaring incomes were going. Nobody can believe it. You can't believe what happened 4 years ago is happening now in reverse. And the world was at peace. Inflation has been a killer for our country. No matter what you make it, it doesn't matter because inflation is eating you alive. People that were putting away money, that were making great wages, the highest they've ever made, but they were putting away a lot of money. Now they are just being destroyed. They're not putting away anything. They're barely living. They're going into savings accounts. They're taking out their money to live because of inflation. Inflation, remember, it's called a country buster. You can go back to Germany from 100 years ago. You can go back to any country that suffered great inflation. We've suffered the worst inflation we've ever had. But go back and see what's happened to those countries. We've had the worst inflation we've ever had under this person. But in less than 4 years, our opponents have turned incredible success into unparalleled tragedy and failure. It's been a tremendous failure. Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force as their jobs are taken. By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by the legal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country?
Americans.
The black population and the Hispanic population, because they're taking the jobs from our black population, our Hispanic population, and they're also taking them from unions. The unions are suffering because of me. Thank you. I like you too. Thank you very much. Inflation has wiped out the life savings of our citizens and forced the middle class into a state of depression and despair. That's what it is. It's despair and depression. We cannot and will not let this continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. We're going to. With leadership, every disaster we are now enduring will be fixed, and it will be fixed very, very quickly. So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited. And by the way, the news reports, oh, look at all of this. They're all here. But every one of them has said this could be the most organized, best run, and most enthusiastic convention of either party that they've ever seen. So we're going to finish strong. Otherwise, we're below it, and we can't let that.
Charlotte would have been better.
Everybody at home. I think of when I said, oh, gee, that wasn't great. Every single person. Refused to be the only one. No. They're already getting received. Huh? We had this was a great convention. This was, I think we're actually going to go home and miss it. You know, usually with the, first of all, these fans should never have this at a convention. I mean, that's it's about one. This week, the entire Republican Party has formally adopted an agenda for America's renewal, and you saw that agenda. And it's very short compared to the long, boring, meaningless agendas of the past, including the Democrats. They write these things that are hundreds of pages long, and they never read them after they're, in their case, fortunately, they don't read them. It's a series of bold promises that we will swiftly implement, which will give us a Republican House. And Mr. Speaker, we have a great Speaker of the House with us tonight. A Republican Senate, we have many senators here. And send me back to our beautiful White House just a few short months from now. We're talking about just months. It can't come fast enough. First, we must get economic relief to our citizens. Starting on day one, we will drive down prices and make America affordable again. Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60 and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway. Can't buy houses. Young people can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration. Republicans have a plan to bring down prices and bring them down very, very rapidly by slashing energy costs. We will in turn reduce the cost of transportation, manufacturing, and all household. So much so it's making energy. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far. We are to make an absolute fortune with its energy. We have it in China. Under the Trump administration, just 3.5 years ago, we were energy independent. But soon, we will actually be better than that. We will be energy dominant and supplying not only ourselves, but we will supply the rest of the world with numbers that nobody has ever seen, and we will reduce our debt $36 trillion. We'll start reducing that, and we will also reduce your taxes still further. Next, and by the way, they want to raise your taxes 4 times. Think of it. And all my life, I grew up watching politicians. I always loved politics, and guess I was on the other side. I'd watch politics, and they were always talking about, we will give you a tax cut, we will give you a tax cut. My whole life, I was watching, I will give you a tax cut, right, Mr. Congressman? That's all they talked about. This is the only administration that said, we're going to raise your taxes by 4 times what you're paying now, and people are supposed to vote for them? I've never heard it. You're paying too much. We're going to reduce your taxes still further. We gave you the biggest one, as I said. We're going to give you more. It's going to lead to tremendous growth. We want to grow Next, we will enter actually incredible waste of taxpayer dollars is fueling the inflation crisis. They spend trillions of dollars on things having to do with the Green New Scam. It's a scandal. That's caused tremendous inflationary pressures in addition to the cost of energy. And all of the trillions of dollars that are sitting there not yet spent, we will redirect that money for important projects like roads, bridges, dams, and we will not allow it to be spent on meaningless Green New Scam ideas. And I will end the elected April mandate on May 1. By saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car. Right now, as we speak, large factories just are being built across the border at Mexico. So all the other things happening. And they're being built by China to make cars and to sell it into our country. No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single one. We're going to bring back car manufacturing, or we're going to bring it back. We're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world. Think of it, in the world. We're going to bring it back. We're going to make them. We don't mind that. We don't mind that happening, but those plants are going to be built in the United States. And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each of them. And they will be taking advantage of by other countries. And think of it, oftentimes these other countries are considered so-called allies. They've taken advantage of us for years. We lose jobs, we lose revenue, and they gain everything and wipe out our businesses, wipe out our people. I stopped it for 4 years. I stopped it, and we're really ready to make changes like nobody has seen before. Remember, the USFCA, I got rid of it after the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with USFCA. They say the best trade deal. Actually, probably the best trade deal was the deal I made with China, where they buy $50 billion worth of our product. They were buying nothing. They buy $50 billion worth. They had to. But I don't even talk about it because of COVID. I don't even mention it, frankly, because of what happened with the China virus. We will not let countries come in, take our jobs, and plunder our nation. They come in and plunder our nation. The way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. Very simple. This is a very simple formula. Congress has to go along with us, and they will. This very simple formula will create massive numbers of jobs. We will take over the auto industry again. Many, hundreds of thousands of jobs. We lost so many jobs in the years. If you go back 20, 25 years, they've stolen going to China and Mexico. About 68% of our auto industry manufacturing jobs. We're going to get them all back. We're going to get them all back, every one of them. And the central plan for economic relief are massive tax cuts for workers that included something else that stood out to be very popular, actually. Here it's very popular. This building and all those hotels that I saw that are so nice. I'm staying in a nice one. It's called No Tax on Tips. We got that by having dinner recently.
I've asked 3 times.
In Nevada, where we're leading by about 14 points. I'll see you there very soon, everyone. We're having dinner at a beautiful restaurant in the Trump building on the strip, and it's a great building. The waitress comes over. How's everything going? You're a nice person. How's everything going? Oh, sir, so tough. The government's after me all the time. Like, tips. I said, well, they give you cash, but they'd be able to find it. She said, actually, I don't know. She said, very little cash is given. It's all put right in the We come in and they take so much of our money, it's just ridiculous. They don't believe anything we say. And they've just hired, as you know, 88,000 agents to go after a big boys. And I said, this shows the level of, most people go out there hire consultants and pay millions of dollars. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax incentives? She said, what a great idea. I got my information from a very smart waitress. That's better than it's a large group of people that are being really hurt badly. They make money, let them keep their money. I'm going to protect Social Security and Medicare. Democrats are going to destroy Social Security and Medicare because all of these people, by the millions that are coming in, they're going to be on Social Security, Medicare, and other things, and you're not able to afford it. They are destroying your Social Security and your Medicare. Under my plan, the incomes will skyrocket, inflation will vanish completely, jobs will come roaring back, and the middle class will prosper like never, ever before.
Can you take it out there?
But no hope or dream we have for America to succeed unless we stop the illegal immigrant invasion, the worst that's ever been seen anywhere in the world. There's never been an invasion like this anywhere. Third world countries would fight with sticks and stone not to let this in. The invasion on our southern border, we will stop it. We will stop it quickly. You heard Tom Homan yesterday. Tom Homan, put him in charge and just see that.
Yes.
Brandon Judd.
I did an interview with Tom Homan yesterday.
These guys, they
2 days ago.
really, their job is a lot easier if they don't have to do anything, but they want to. They're patriots. Brandon Judd, Border Patrol, ICE. ICE goes out. You have to see what ICE does with MS-13. You have these are probably the worst gang, and ICE goes in there. And I know a lot of people in these rooms and they're very tough people, but they don't want to do this job. They'll go into a pack, MS-13 killers. They're the worst, probably the worst gangs in the world. We have thousands of them. I moved thousands and thousands out in my 4 years. We moved them out, and it was a pleasure. But I would go right into a pack of these killers, and you see fists flying, you see everything flying, and then they take them. They put them in a paddy wagon, take them back, and they get them out of our country. The other countries weren't accepting them back, and I called up and I said, tell them that we're not giving them economic aid anymore. And the next day I got calls from all these countries that were terminated. Billions of dollars we spent on economic aid to countries that does us frankly no good. And the next day I was called by everybody, I couldn't take all. Sir, what's the problem? I said, you won't take your killers back that you sent in caravans into America. You won't take them back. Well, sir, if you'd like us to, we would give very serious consideration. And within 24 hours, they were being taken back for years and years. When I first came in, they said President Obama tried to get them to go back and they wouldn't accept them. They'd put planes on the runway so you couldn't leave the plane. They'd close the roads so you couldn't take the buses and all have to turn back. As soon as I said no more economic aid of any kind to any country that does that, they called back and they said, sir, it would be our great honor to take you next step. Border nightmare and fully restore the sacred and sovereign borders of the United States of America, and we're going to do that on day one. That means two things on day one, right?
Yeah.
Drill, baby, drill, and close up borders. I think everybody as a Republican has to take care of this room, as Democrats. We want people to come into our country, but they have to come into our country legally. Less than 4 years ago, I handed this administration the strongest border in American history. But you can see on the chart that saved my life. That was the chart that saved my life. So look it up. So
Wow. Everything.
done by the book. It's one of the greatest charts I've ever seen. The chart.
One of the greatest charts.
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it.
Yes.
Without that chart, I would not be here today.
Chart.
I said, you gotta see this chart. I was so proud of it by the time I got to there. I never got to see it that day, but I'm seeing it now and I was very proud. You look at the arrow on the bottom, that's the lowest level, one on the bottom, heavy red arrow. That's the lowest level of illegal immigrants ever to come into our country recorded. And that was my last week in office. And then you see what happened after I left. You go out, getting to be a little bit old, but I love it anyway, right? You go much higher because what happened right after that, the invasion began. We had the opposite. We stopped the invasion. But the invasion that we stopped was peanuts by comparison to what happened after I left. Look at what happened after I left. They took over our country. We ended all catch and release. We shut down asylum fraud, stopped human trafficking, and forged historic agreements to keep illegal aliens on foreign soil. We want them to stay on their soil. Under the Trump administration, if you came in illegally, you were apprehended immediately and you were deported. You went right back. The current administration terminated every single one of those great Trump policies that I put in place. The seal the border, one and seal the border. Again, coming, but coming in. You know how unfair it is? So many people, hundreds of
Been
thousands
talking over an hour, yeah.
have been working for years to come into our country. And now they see these people pour into our country.
No, no rally lessons. There's no,
So unfair.
there's no rally.
We're not going to stand for it. They suspended wall construction, ended, remained in Mexico. Remained in Mexico. You think that was easy to get from the Mexican government? They said, you must give it to us. If you don't give it to us, there will be repercussions.
He's like whispering. That awful. It's like crazy.
Cancels our singular agreements.
He's like whispering like that.
42 implemented nationwide tax
like,
increases, tax increases for tax down and release them into our market. We catch them and release them into Mexico. It's just like, and to 93, this is the previous administration, 93 executive actions to throw open our border to the world. The entire world is pouring into our country because of this very foolish administration. The greatest invasion in history is taking place right here in our country. They are coming in from every corner of the earth, not just from South America, but from Africa, Asia, the Middle East. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming at levels that we've never seen before. It is an invasion indeed, and this administration does absolutely nothing to stop them. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. The post is always on me because I say this. Has anyone seen Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
The late great Hannibal Lecter. We'd love to have you for dinner. It's emptying out there and saying, terrorists are coming in numbers that we've never seen before. Bad things are going to happen. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are going down because they're taking their criminals and they're putting them into our country. A certain country that I happen to like, the president of that country very much, but he's been getting great publicity because he's a wonderful shepherd of the country. He says how well the country's doing because their crime rate is down. And he said he's training all of these rough people that are rough. He's training them. And I've been reading about this for 2 years. I think, oh, that's wonderful. Let's take a look at it. But then I realized he's not training them. He's sending all of his criminals, his drug dealers, his people that are in jails. He's sending them home to the United States. And he's different in that he doesn't say that. He's trying to convince everybody what a wonderful job he does in the country. Well, he does do a wonderful job. And by the way, if I ran one of the countries, many countries from all over, I would be worse than any of them. I would have had the place totally emptied out all the time. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. And they can't believe that they're getting away with what they're getting away with, but they're not going to be getting away with it for long. In Venezuela, Caracas, high crime, high crime. Caracas, Venezuela, really a dangerous place, but not anymore. Because in Venezuela, crime is down 72%. In fact, if they would ever win this election, he'd be say that we will have our next Republican convention in Venezuela because it will be safe. Our cities will be so unsafe. We will not be able to have it there. In El Salvador, murders are down by 70%. Why are they down? Now, he would have you convinced that because he's trained murderers to be wonderful people. They're down because they're sending their murderers to the United States of America. And bad things are going to happen, and you're seeing it happen all the time. That's why, to keep our families safe, the Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history. Even the president, like Pete Eisenhower, Many years ago, I was a lobby for the really very strong members of the largest deportation operation we've ever had. Just recently, I spoke to the grieving mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a wonderful woman, a precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who last month was tied up, assaulted, and strangled to death after walking to the convenience store just a block away from her house. Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shallow pit found by some onlookers who couldn't believe what they had witnessed. Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are two illegal aliens from Venezuela who came across our border, were in custody, and were then released into the country by this horrible, horrible administration that we have right now. I also met recently with the heartbroken mother and sister of Rachel. Rachel was a 37-year-old mom of 5 beautiful children who was brutally raped and murdered while out on a run. She wanted to keep herself in good shape. It was very important when she was murdered. The monster responsible first killed another woman in El Salvador before he was led into America by the White House. This White House let them in. He then attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel and Mary. Traveled all throughout the country, doing tremendous damage. Rachel's mother will never be the same. I spent time with her. Will never be the same. I've also met with the wonderful family of Lincoln Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student. He's so proud of being first in the class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Yet another American life was stolen by a criminal alien set free by this administration. These were incredible people we're talking about. These were incredible people who died. Tonight, America, this is my vow. I will not let these killers and criminals into our country. We will take our sons and daughters in. As we bring security to our streets, we will help bring stability to the world. I was the first president in modern times to start no new wars. You know, we were the toughest, we were the most. You saw this. Hungry, strong country run by very powerful, tough leaders, tough guy. First doesn't like him because he's tough. And he came out recently, they were asking him in an interview, the whole world is exploding, what's happening, what's going on? Viktor Orban, Prime Minister, Hungary, very tough guy. He said, I don't want people coming into my country and blowing up our shopping centers and killing people. But they said to him, tell us what's going on, what's happening, what is it? He said, there's only one way you're going to solve it. You got to bring President Trump back to the United States because he can. Use the word I wouldn't use because I can't use that word. Because you'd say it was braggadocious. The person would say, who's a braggart? I'm not a braggart. But Viktor Orban said, he said, Russia was afraid of him. China was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nothing was going to happen. The whole world was at peace. And now the world is blowing up around us.
Yes.
All of these things that you read about are not going to happen. Under President Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under President Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under the current administration, Russia is after all of Ukraine. Under President Trump, Russia took nothing. We defeated 100% of ISIS in Syria and Iraq, something that was said to take 5 years, sir, take 5 years, sir. We did it in a matter of a couple of months. We have a great military. Our military is not woke. It's just some of the fools on top that are woke. I got along very well. Kim Jong-un. Chris hated when he said that. How could you get along with him? It's nice to get along with somebody who has a lot of nuclear weapons or other weapons. In the old days, they said it's a wonderful thing. Now they say, how could it possibly be an But I got along with them, and we stopped the missile launches from North Korea. Now North Korea's acting up again. When we get back, I get along with them. He'd like to see me back home. I think he misses me as well. Our opponents invented a world of peace and turned it into a planet of war. Look at that attack on Israel. Look at what's happening with Ukraine. The cities are just bombed out. How can people live like that? Where buildings, massive buildings are falling to the ground. It began to unravel with the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the worst humiliation in the history of our country. We have never had a humiliation like that. 13 heroic U.S. service members were tragically and needlessly killed. 45 others were horrifically wounded. Nobody ever talks about it. No arms, no legs, face explosions, horrifically. And by the way, we have a man in this room who's running for U.S. from a great state,
Florida.
Nevada,
Yep.
and sitting there. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. He paid the biggest price probably ever paid by anybody that is running for office, and I think he's going to do good. He's running against a person that is not good, not respected, a total lightweight. But Sam, I think, paid really we're talking about it. And some of the senators that are working so hard for Sam, but he paid the biggest price for any senator ever to run for the Senate. I don't think anybody's ever what he did. He's a real hero, a really great person, and he's running, and I hope that everybody gets out and votes for Sam Brown. We also left behind $85 million worth of military equipment, along with many American citizens. Many American citizens, emboldened by that disaster, Russia invaded Ukraine. They saw it was clever people that weren't competent. We took the soldiers out first. No, we're going to take the soldiers out second. If they would have followed my plan, we had a great plan. But the plan only kicked in if they did everything perfectly, and they weren't doing things perfectly, so we said it doesn't kick in. 18 months in Afghanistan, we didn't have one, so they were killing them left and right, snipers. And I spoke to the head of the Taliban. You've heard this story. Abdul is still there, still the head of the Taliban. The press got on me, why would you speak to him? I said, because that's where the killing is. To speak to somebody that has nothing to do with it. And I told them, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. You're going to see. Because during the Obama administration, many great people and soldiers, a lot of soldiers were being killed from long distance. I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to be hit harder than anybody's ever been hit by a country before. And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls the other guy Your Excellency. The other guy gave him everything. I mean, what kind of a deal was that? He walked out getting everything. Do you know that right now Afghanistan is one of the largest sellers of weapons in the world? Brand new, beautiful weapons that we gave them. But think of it. He actually said to me, but why do you show me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to ask your people or one of your wives. But he could figure it out. And for 18 months, We had not one attack on an American soldier under Trump. And then we had that horrible day where soldiers were not there because of a ridiculous election. We had that horrible attack, and they also gave up Bagram, one of the biggest bases anywhere in the world, air bases anywhere in the world, the longest runways, most powerful, hardened, thickened runways. They gave it up, and I liked it not because of Afghanistan. I liked it because of China. It's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. And you know who has it now? China has it now. We're keeping it.
China.
And now China is likewise circling Taiwan, and Russian warships and nuclear submarines are operating 60 miles off the coast. Do you know that? The press refuses to. If that were me running this country and we had nuclear submarines in Cuba, I will tell you, the headlines every day would be, what's wrong with our president? You don't even hear this. You're not hearing about this. Russia has nuclear submarines and warships 60 miles away, Mr. Congressman, from Miami, by the way, happens to be correct?
Never heard.
In Cuba. That would not be stood for if it were somebody else. They don't want to mention it, but maybe they will. And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back. They better the years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I had no wars other than ISIS, which I defeated, but that wasn't the end of the story. We had no wars. I could stop wars with it.
Yes, we do.
Stop wars. If properly stated, it would never start. We will replenish our military and build an Iron Dome missile defense system to ensure that no enemy can strike our homeland. And this great Iron Dome will be built entirely in the USA and the jungle. Wisconsin, just like I gave you that massive ship contract, and you're doing a very nice job, Governor, right? No? Thank you, Governor. You're doing a great job. In fact, I had a little design change and gave it tremendous for a century what we used to call destroyers. These are now most beautiful. They look like yachts. I said we have to take the bow and we have to make it a little nicer and a little pointed. And the people at the shipyard said, this guy sort of knows what he's doing. Those beautiful ships, right? Everybody's sitting over there. It's a big contract. Everybody wanted, I gave it to Wisconsin, but we're going to have a lot of that built right here in the state of Wisconsin and all other states. Israel has an Iron Dome. They have a missile defense system. 342 missiles were shot into Israel, and only one got through a little bit. It was badly wounded. It fell to the ground. Most of them. And Ronald Reagan wanted this many years ago, but we really didn't have the technology many years ago. Remember, they called it Starship, spaceship. Anything to mock him. But he was a very good president. Very good. But now we have unbelievable. And why should other countries have this and we don't? No, we're going to build an Iron Dome over our country, and we're going to make sure that nothing can come and harm our people. And again, from an economic development standpoint, we're going to make it all right here. No more sending it out to other countries. It's America first. We will unleash the power of American innovation. And as we do, we will soon be on the verge of finding cures to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and many other diseases. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Remember this gentleman, want to mention other than one time I hit 10 words I had to do it. I didn't want anybody to be confused. Said, we're going to find a cure to cancer. Nothing happened. We're going to get to the cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, and so many other things. We're so close to doing something good.
Yeah.
Let it be done, we will not have men playing in women's sports. That we will restore and renovate our nation's once great cities, making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. There's so many things. They leave from Wisconsin, they go to look at the Washington Monument, they end up getting stabbed, killed, or shot. We will be very soon, very proud of our capital in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
America's on the cusp of a new golden age, but we will have the courage to seize it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it a current, and we're going to bring this into a golden age like never seen before. Remember this? China wants to do it. Japan wants to do it. All of these countries want to do it. We have to produce massive amounts of energy if we're going to produce with new. If you look at some of the things that have been done and some of the things that we're going to do, but AI needs literally twice the electricity that's available now in our country. Can you imagine?
Wow. No.
But instead, we're spending places where they recharge electric cars. They built 8 chargers in a certain location for the Midwest. 8 chargers for $9 billion. Think of that as a take for filling up your gas. Think of it. They spent $9 billion on 8 chargers, 3 of which didn't work. And if you were going to do this all over our country, this crazy electric mandate, you would do this all. And by the way, I'm all for electric. They have their application. But if somebody wants to buy a gas-powered car, gasoline-powered car, or a hybrid, they can be able to do it. And we're going to make that change on day 1. So just a few short days ago, my journey with you nearly ended. And yet, here we are tonight, all gathered together, talking about the future promise, a total renewal of a thing we love very much. It's called America. We live in a world of miracles. None of us knows God's plan or where life's adventure will take us. I want to thank Franklin Graham for being here. He wrote me a note recently that Sir, I love your storytelling. I think it's great in front of these big rallies. But sir, please do me one favor. It won't make any difference. Please don't use any foul language. I was a little embarrassed. She said, it won't make any difference. Actually, it does. The story's not quite as good, but I've been very good. The story is not quite as good. I got to have a little talk with Frank, but he was great. He's a great gentleman. His father was so Billy Graham. My father would take me to Billy Graham at Yankee Stadium. He had the biggest rallies you've ever seen. He was a good rally guy, too. He was just a fantastic guy. My father loved Billy Graham. And I love Frank. I think Franklin's been fantastic. And I'm trying. I'm working so hard to adhere to his note. I'm working hard on it. And if the events of last Saturday make anything clear, it is that every single moment we have on earth is a gift from God.
Yes.
We have to make the most of every day for the people and for the country that we love. The attacker in Pennsylvania wanted to stop our movement. The truth is, the movement has never been about me. It has always been about you. It's your movement. It's the biggest movement in the history of America. Thank you. It can't be said. It has always been about the hardworking, patriotic citizens of America. For too long, our nation has settled for too little. We settled for too little. We've given everything to other nations, other people. You've been told to lower your expectations and to accept less for your families. I am here tonight with the opposite message. Your expectations are not big enough. It is time to start expecting and demanding the best leadership in the world, leadership that is bold, dynamic, relentless, and fearless. We can do that. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright. But as long as our energies are spent fighting each other, our destiny will remain out of reach. That's not acceptable. We must instead take that energy and use it to realize our country's true potential and write our own thrilling chapter of the American story. We can do it together. We will unite. We are going to have success. Will bring us together. It is a story of love, sacrifice, and so many other things. And remember the word devotion. It's unmatched devotion. Our American ancestors crossed the Delaware, survived the icy winter at Valley Forge, and defeated a mighty empire to establish our cherished republic. They fought so hard, they lost so many. They pushed thousands and thousands of miles across a dangerous frontier, taming the wilderness to build a life and a magnificent home for their families. They packed their families into covered wagons, trekked across hazardous trails, scaled towering mountains, and braved rivers and rapids to stake their claim on the wide open, new, and very beautiful frontier. When our way of life was threatened, American patriots marched onto the battlefield, raced into enemy strongholds, and stared down death, and stared down those enemies to keep alive the flame of freedom. At Yorktown, Gettysburg, and Midway, they joined the roll call of immortal heroes. So many, just so many great people. And we have to cherish those people. We can't forget those people. We have to cherish them. And building monuments to those great people is a good thing nowadays. No challenge was too much. No hardship was too great. No enemy was too fierce. Together, these soldiers endured, and they prevailed because they had faith in each other, faith in their country, and above all, they had faith in their God. Just like our ancestors, we must now come together, rise above past differences. Any disagreements have to be put aside and go forward united as one people, one nation, pledging allegiance to one great, beautiful, I think it's so beautiful, American flag. Tonight I ask for your partnership, for your support, and I am humbly asking for your vote. Every day I will strive to honor the trust you have placed in me, and I will never, ever let you down. I promise that. To all of the forgotten men and women who have been neglected, abandoned, and left behind, you will be forgotten no longer. We will press forward together. We will win, win, win. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. No matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles line up, we will keep striving toward our shared and glorious destiny, and we will not fail. We will not fail. Together, we will save this country. We will restore the republic, and we will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, and more united than ever before. And quite simply put, we will very quickly make America great again. Thank you very much.
Here they come! Here they come! Look up, look up, look up! Look up, look up! Oh, you gotta pop it so you can help bring it home. Got it? Oh, got it? Got it? You got it? I'll pop it on top. Ow. Hold the knot. Hold the knot. Turn it over. Hold the knot. Got the knot? It's not popping. There it goes. Did you get one?
I got these. I got these two little guys. Now, a big one or a gold one?
Right here. Okay, the only reason is like Trying to. I don't know what I got because I got cheese in my face. That was the one in the second one. I didn't know where the. I didn't see the one. It's on your side.
Take that.
Oh. 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 Hey, come on, man. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Video's gonna keep it high on. Thank you, Roger. Good try. Further away. Okay. Can I get up? You're first. That's gonna be on TV. All right. Arnold! Arnold, do the dance! Do the dance! What you got? Okay. Melania is really interested in kids. The daughters can stand. The father, no. No. Ivanka, Melania, never saw. Never saw them play. So the only one suspended all night is JD. I didn't trust them. Well, number one, it's not the mom. Still. Oh my God. Quite a few. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. I might not, but can you too? I figure I might as well just say, I feel like it's something the fire got Biden. Fire, I think, come on. Right.
Oh my God!
What's up, John?
Oh my God!
I know, there's good stuff.
I like how they have All right. My God. Thank you, baby. It's like JVP. I got us. It's like all of my numbers. What state are you from?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. I'm from, I live in here in Wisconsin, 2.5 hours north of here.
Well played. AJ!
Hey, what are you doing?
Hi, Ginger Betty. It's Ginger Betty.
How are you? What's happening?
No, no way. We're all gonna step back. Nobody gets hurt along the fence line. Oh, they don't pop. It doesn't pop. It just lets the air out. Don't do it in front of it. It doesn't.
I was able to untie one and get the air out.
Yeah. The other, these are my ones. The other ones like this will pop. No.
Can you grab?
No. We go get it. I've got a couple of options. That he can be moved like on the bottom man. Yeah.
You got me one, please. Pretty please.
Take that one.
Can you pack it for me?
I tried. It wouldn't come.
John. I'm right here. All right, I got it.
All right, that's gonna. Well, no.
John. Wait, baby. No, I'm saying I'm gonna.
Quiet, players.
Ben saw that. Ready? Set up.
2004.
Buddy, I want to enough cheeseheads.
Huh?
Enough of the cheeseheads.
Yeah.
They're like ruining.
Gay. 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 Susan.
In this video, was 2000.
We're quiet, they're doing church. I'm trying to listen to prayer. Shut up. I'm trying to tell them you shut up, but you're showing me to shut up. It's me.
My parents and my children know that God is ultimate answer. As you lead this Republican National Convention, that he will guide your plan. As I hit this point, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of Michigan, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Born Jesus. The praise of the glory. Hallelujah. President Jenkins, Secretary, Egypt, find you. Thank you. Chairman, there you go. Yeah, when you get home, minutes. I've never been into massage. Second! 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 Wadley! Aye! I wish they were yes and no. Roger, let's start off with Bison when he gets off. Let's go turning to my Michael. Okay. Watley. Watley! Michael! 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 Oh my gosh. You can hear Alright. Hey, do me a favor. What? Put that back in the player bag. Put it in the bag. Thank you.
I think she left already. She called me.
My aircraft is off. Oh, yeah.
Where you going?
I have to get a picture of her on the ground. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see you.
Oh, yeah. Are you doing it because Roger's here? Roger brings out the best.
I love you. Is that yours? You're gonna have that.
Pops everywhere.
I know. You got my name and my number, right? I don't have a first one.
Ready?
I'm so glad. Oh, yeah, Roger, you took everything.
Oh, okay. My hands.
Sure, you take ours.
People.
Hey! I'll do one more. Okay, perfect. Richard!
I can't do it. I'll set it up. Oh, let's another well line. Right here. Wife, pay attention. Um,
Got my hand.
Chris.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Oh, my.
Oh, hey, Vicky, where are you?
I was trying to think I got. Don't get better with this.
Go ahead.
Chris. Chris.
Okay.
Chris.
Thank you. I'm not actually from Thailand. Minnesota.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're not easy to hop. Sure. Sorry.
Let's go.
There is his hand.
Be well, but good share. Don't be surprised if you're your kids will love it. First off. I'm a dude favorite.
She's gone. She's long gone. She left very early.
They stand tall, J.P. Brown, rear. That's all here.
Roger, I should send them balloons to take a picture. No, okay, I don't need to. It's coming. I could. You want it?
Going up the stairs?
Sharon! That's
He's on here.
Okay, I saw it on the floor. I put it up. Okay.
my bed. Oh, my bed.
Get like strong.
See you 2024.
Overall, I think.
Hey, Sandy, hold this way.
Why? It's gonna.
Hold it this way, okay? Okay.
Waiting on the actual part. I have some. Sure you do. Oh, I know.
Well, the 2024 Republican National Convention is over. We're surrounded by balloons. It was so much fun. Lots of pictures, lots of meeting people, a lot of interviews. I did interviews, people interviewed me. So we actually got a couple more tonight. I got to go find the guy. So with that, me, Roger, with Citizen Media News, and my executive producer, the most beautiful, Candy Smith. I'm sorry. Oh, well, you got one. So thank you very much.
It was a great NRCC.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. RNC. I can't even remember. It's so like it's almost midnight now.
Nice.
Since we're
But-
the 2024 RNC was probably the most awesome RNC we've ever had. I'd calls, messages from across the state, across the country, that were just so moved by the interviews. They've never seen so many dynamic speakers, and I'll tell you that people were really touched by the American folks, just the average American citizen that came out and shared and witnessed, to their struggles. And I'll tell you that 2028 has a big shoes to fill to top this, because I'll tell you, Chairman Watley with the RNC did probably the best job ever. And I'm
Well, you know what the word I heard? You know what the big word I kept hearing?
what?
Unity, unified.
Oh my
And
gosh. I will tell you, I've never seen so much unity, so much pride, so much patriotism in one area. And not just for 1 hour, not just for one day. It was the entire 4 days. Matter of fact, we came in on Sunday and we saw it. I'll tell you, the good folks of Wisconsin were so amazing. We did not meet a single person that was in a bad mood. They were so happy to help us, so nice. And I'll tell you, if you want to go on vacation, come out here to Milwaukee. It was fantastic. They got great food, great drinks, and great hospitality. And, I'll tell you, I can't wait for 2028. But before that, I can't wait to elect Donald J. Trump. Signing out from Citizen Media News, this is Sandy Smith.
good night.
Good night.